Abron, a fellow of Nigerian Institute of Chartered Arbitrators and senior members of Chartered Institute of Loan and Risk Management of Nigeria. ESB Olalekun also earned an international certification in project management as a project management professional, PMP, from the Project Management Institution, PMI, United States of America. A certification which he is able to maintain till date. His interest in lecturing and research keeps him abreast of development in profession. He has been privileged to attend short courses abroad in areas relevant to estate surveying and valuation profession. ESB Olalekun is the lead advisor of Olalekun Aboderin Consulting, a firm of estate surveyors and valuers, director of studies, Reeves Academy, a center for real estate professionals development with accreditation of NIESV as private learning center, which is equally registered with FVABRON. He is equally the lead consultant of OAC Project Concepts, a real estate project development and management company. So please join me once again as we bring to the podium ESV Isiaka Olalekun Aboderin.
Morning. Good morning, everyone. It is a pleasure to be here. I received the call as a clearance call, given the fact that some decades ago, I was just here like you. So thank you for the honor to bring me back to my proud citadel of learning. It's just a sheer privilege because I have a lot of my professors whom I so respect, even our a small boy like me, as a prime mover. Well, I accept that as a motion. I promise that we'll take charge to actually get to that. It's indispensable. Even as we talk about transition from physical space to cyberspace, we still need real estate. I always emphasize, when you talk about hierarchy of needs, we say shelter ranks second to food, right? No controversy about that. But when you equate shelter to real estate, to land, right? It ranks first. Because even to produce food, you need what? You need what? Land. You need real estate. Produce capital, you need real estate. Anything you want to do. Therefore, we say real estate is a primary requirement for anything anybody wants to do. And you find yourself in the profession that has to do with real estate, you should congratulate yourself. So in the first instance, I want to address your mindset that belief is God's grace that has made you to be in this department. And with that resolution, put in your best while you are here. Most of the challenges that we face in practice start from here. You know why? It's not as if we don't have capable lecturers, but student minds are not there. You are in the class, you are already thinking, I will still go and read accounting. It was in the olden days that accountants make money. They are running after us now. Many of them are even doing agency now. I tell you, in my academy, only God knows the number of chartered accountants that have become qualified as assessors of and valuer today that have passed through my academy. They have seen what you have not seen. But I'm here to bridge that gap, to tell you that you are in the right profession. So put in your best. Concentrate on your studies. And don't let anybody delude your mind that what you are doing here is not what you need in the field. It's a lie, oh. Huh? Am I communicating? When we get to the field, we'll be learning that. That is a lie. You won't be able to fit in. Not even in my own practice anyway. You cannot fit in. Because the fundamentals of what you practice are the principles and theories. So please, make up your mind to be successful essay surveyors and valuers. In our faculty, we always say that you cannot be an essay surveyor and valuer and you are poor. In fact, we say it's a crime for you to be poor as an essay surveyors and valuers, because you see, the potentials are so unlimited. Even up till now, there are still areas yet to be tapped in the profession. So all you need to do is make up your mind and grab that knowledge, then create niche for yourself, and people will be looking for you. You are in the right profession. It is a profession that guarantees your sustainability. It is a profession that guarantees wealth. In fact, you are the custodians of people's wealth. Have you ever seen anybody that really has money that is not into real estate? No. Do you ever wonder why people in other colleagues in the built environment hate us? The architects, the quantity surveyors, the builders? Because our value chain is endless. The value chain in this profession is endless. You are looking for land, we are there. You want to appraise the investment idea, we are there. You want to deliver successfully in managing the project, we are there. If you choose to keep your property with you, we are there to manage the property. If you want to sell, we are there to sell for you. Then you want to say, okay, let's retrofit. We'll manage everything. Now you want to use it for mortgage, you want to insure, whatever this, you need valuation, right? We are there. Where will they be after completing the building? Unless you want to do renovation and maintenance. So please, my colleagues, I want to see you very soon in the field as noble colleagues, proud of this profession. make up your mind, focus on what you have to do, then I can assure you, you will not regret becoming estate surveyors and valuers. Now, to my topic. Okay. All right, let me just start. Why trying to connect? If you don't mind, let me continue my discussion, please. Okay, the topic is actually digital estates, navigating real estate in a smart economy. But I try to reconstruct the topic as digitalization, navigating real estate in a smart economy. So that will be the focus of my discussion today. I see my father coming here now, Professor B.T. Aluko. Please, a round of applause for him. Yes, Professor Aluko is somebody that, for most of us that pass through him, we see him not just as a mentor, as a father, and somebody that we celebrate so much in the field. Because the fact is that I remember, even apart from his effort while we were here, after leaving university, he will come to my office and bring books. He will come to my office, make photocopy. Then no access to all these original copies. He will make photocopy with his money and say, I know you will read it and give us. And of course, that has impacted our life to the extent that, well, today there's no way we can write our history without talking about this same Professor B.T. Aluko. Please, another round of applause for him. All right, so I'll be looking at digitalization, navigating real estate in a smart economy. I aim to prepare our minds. I aim to prepare our minds on digital transformation of real estate. And I hope to achieve the following objectives. One, to provide insight into real estate as the asset in focus. Two, to explain the nature of smart economy. Three, to explore how emerging technologies are reshaping the real estate industries and assets. And finally, to provide guidelines for adopting real estate into smart economy. I start by identifying real estate fundamental assets. And I decided to do this because of two things. Number one, the fact that we have junior colleagues here, members at maybe year one, year two. It's important for us to understand what is property, what is real estate. There was a presentation I did. I said the word property in property valuation. What that word property in property valuation, what does it stand for? Right? So I simply identify that as proprietary land units. I simply identify that as proprietary land unit. And that is a parcel of land, whether in its natural state or developed state to which a bundle of rights pertains. What that means is this. What we consider as real estate, for it to be an asset, it goes beyond the physical attribute, the physical asset that we see. So it has both corporeal and incorporeal hereditament. It's an amalgamation. The physical asset does not have the ability of being owned. What anchors ownership is the bundle of rights. And whereas that same bundle of rights cannot exist in a vacuum. So the two has to coexist together. And that is the fundamental asset that we call real estate. Irrespective of anything you talk about in real estate, that will always be the asset. Even if you talk of REITs, you talk of shares, anything you want to talk of, derivatives, that will always be the underlying asset. Now, from that, I identify the fact you can have direct and you can have indirect. The moment you convert your direct real estate to investable instruments, then you have indirect. Now, for every indirect, there will be underlying physical asset. So I equally have a slide there. I will leave you with that. That shows the relationship, the linkages between the direct and the indirect, so that I don't bother you much. Now, let's take a look into the spheres in real estate industry. What is the real estate industry? What are the issues involved? What are the spheres? What are the various aspects that we have in real estate industry? I tried to summarize them into three. One I call the process. The second one, the products. And the final one is finance and investing. The process, the products, finance and investing. And these classifications are very, very important if we must go into what? Smart economy. Because we must really know the scope of digitalization that we need to do. So under processes, I identify developments, that is having to embark on development. Right from conceiving the idea, conceptualization, design, and delivery of the development. Then management. Management, we have property management, we have project management, we have facility management. Then appraising. Under appraiser, you have valuation for various purposes, and you have feasibility and viability studies in form of real estate investment appraiser. Then we have transaction. Transaction here relates to letting, and all sorts of anything that really has to do with exchange. Then we have documentations. In terms of title document, that's land documentations, and in terms of project documentations. These are very, very important, and they constitute part of our processes. Then you have advisory. Advisory represents what we call real estate consulting, general real estate consulting services. So on these are what we do, what we experience in the field regarding processes. If you look at what I've said so far, they are more or less like talking about service industry of real estate, where we render the services, real estate services, basically. So, my colleague, you can see that we have quite a lot of spectrum of services going beyond agency. Going beyond agency. In fact, in my office, our activities about agency is very, very low. We do more of appraiser and project management than agency. Our agency, they are target work. We are not out there chasing shadow, no. But in terms of appraiser, project management, yes. And you see, we have created a niche for ourselves in that area, and people know us for those aspects of the profession, that even colleagues, when they have such service to render, they beckon on us. So you can choose to create your niche, but I will appeal that you go beyond agency. Now we go to products. Products. All these processes that I've mentioned has to do, or one way or the other, about our product. And the products, I talk about your real estate asset will be either for spaces for living, that's your residential property, spaces for production, your spaces for production, that's your industrial. You have spaces for trading, you have for office, accommodation, you have for recreation, you have infrastructure assets, like construction is a real estate asset. Then you have investable instruments. There you talk about converting real estate beyond bricks and mortar, converting real estate into instruments like shares. Then we have finance and investing as the last part of the sphere. Here we talk about everything that has to do with capital provisions and capital collections. How you inject capital into real estate and how you recoup your capital. So this is the aspect of finance and investing. So with this in mind, when we get to the aspect of digitalization, we now look at, okay, how has digitalization affected all this? Or how can digitalization affect what we have said? So now I have smart economy. Smart economy. A smart economy uses digital infrastructure. I don't want to, because of time, let me just this slide by mentioning that the moment you talk about smart economy, you are moving actually from our physical terrain to cyber. To cyber. So when you go to cyberspace, everything about your operation in cyberspace relates with ICT, information and communication technology. Information and communication technology. But a good thing about smart economy is such that it's technological driven. It relies on what we call emerging technology. But where in the advanced country, there are no more emerging. They rather say sophisticated technology. Is in Nigeria, we say they are still what? Emerging, because we are still growing. So, it utilizes ICT largely, and you convert everything. Because I've just mentioned that you move from this terrestrial space, our geographical space, to cyberspace. So you have to equally convert all your processes into that space. So now, is predicated upon the utilization of emerging or sophisticated technology. And it has the following features. Number one is that it's digital data driven. Anything that cannot be converted into cyberspace, you will have problem with smart economy. Dubai is already running smart economy now, right? They are digitalizing every processes. You know, to get Dubai's visa, you just apply, and before you know it, your interactions with the system, whether you are qualified to go or not, and you have your visa. So now is an aspect that is digital data driven. Smart economy relies on online operations than offline. Online operations than offline. It overcomes barriers. It overcomes barriers of distance. Where you have a smart economy, it does not know any boundary. Smart economy does not know any boundary. In the sense that what it does is that it overcomes barriers. It converts everything to global. You have global access, right? So then, all-round working economy. That's another important feature. A smart economy is an all-round working economy. What does that mean? Well, that means that even while you are sleeping, your economy is what? Is active. It's working. Whether during rainy season, dry season, all limiting factors that will affect human activities, smart economy has the potential of overcoming those factors. And the economy will what? Will work naturally. During your own night, giving time zoning in another country, they have their day, they can patronize your economy while they are doing, while you are sleeping in your country. So, and it's less of human interactions. With that, it has potential to be highly efficient because human error is limited, fatigue is avoided, and a host of things like that. I like to emphasize the aspect that, you see, we need to really wake up in this country concerning this smart economy. Because if we want to grow, we must go to that direction. When my first experience about smart economy was with Project Management Institute of US. When I was to do my PMP exam then, the complete process, right from joining as a member, pre-qualifying you as candidates, writing, picking date for your exam, picking venue for your exam, making payment for your exam, writing your exam, reviewing your work experience, writing your exam, marking your script, declaring your result, issuance of your certificate, issuance of your membership card, everything is digitalized. Everything, not just digitalized, is automated. Everything. When we get there, you see the difference. There is difference between digitalization and automation. Everything is automated. So, what readily came to my mind is that their economy is not what? It's not sleeping. I don't know if I'm making sense. Their economy is not what? Not sleeping at all. They might be in a club, dining and whining. Olaleke Abodeni is somewhere at the corner of Nigeria paying dollars to their economy. Just like I am doing, a lot of other people too. Even up to your membership renewal, complete circle of your PDU, a lot of anything you want to think of. Everything is on cyberspace. That is a typical example that will let you appreciate what we call smart economy. So now, with that, if we have that, you can be rest assured that the economy will be better. So I quickly look at the following. What are the tools of a thing? Artificial intelligence, big data, smart infrastructures, and what have you. I make this option. A smart economy is a precursor for a smart city. A smart economy is a precursor for a smart city. You cannot have a smart city without a smart economy. So it is important for us to go that route. Now, let me quickly mention that the role of what all these tools can do for us, sensors and connectivity, particularly Internet of Things. When we get to now, you'll see the of that. Then predictive analytics and automation, that is artificial intelligence. Decision making, that's big data, and so on. Now, let's look at digital real estate. When you talk about real estate, we are talking about integration of digital technology across entire real estate value chain, industry spheres. I've identified three groups, three spheres in the industry: the process, the products, and finance and investment. Thank you. Finance and investing. So these are the spheres. We have the process will relate to all real estate services. Then the product in the various forms, types, and use, and the finance with investing. Now, what is involved when you want to do You want to go into smart economy. You want to go into smart economy. What is involved? The first one is what we call digitization. Digitization. The second one is digitalization. And the final one, otherwise called digital transformation, is digital automation. The three must be there before you can have smart economy. The three. Now, what do we mean by digitization? Digitization is you want to convert, you want to move from offline to what? Online. So, transferring your offline details to online data. That is digitization. Without doing that, you will still be living on this surface. Your information will still be limited to this surface. So we need that information online before we can start working with it. Before you can now go to digitalizing all the details. So I said digitization is creating a digital version of analog or physical things in order to save, process, and transfer information. So at this point, you transfer offline details to online data. You convert them to 0 and 1. Abi? Your online information. Those are the digits, 0 and 1. So then, after doing, you move to digitalization. And that has to do creating business model, operational processes in what you have digitized. Creating business model and operational processes in what you have digitized. So I said digitalization refers to enabling, improving, and transforming business models based on digitization. What you have digitized, creating business model and operational processes out of them. So we are moving. We have them as storage when you digitize. Now, that storage, the ability to now convert them to workable items, what you can operate with, what can respond to you, answer to your call, that is the digitalization. Then automation. This do with operation with complete integration across value chains. Just like the example that I gave to you. You apply, you want to be a member of Project Management Institute. As it's receiving your application, it's responding to you. If the application is reviewed, you are required to make payments. You make your payments. After making your payments, you are assigned membership number, and you have your membership card. Everything on the cyber. Then you would indicate interest that you want to write PMP exam. It asks for your submission of work experience, like that. All those processes continues without any interaction with anybody, any human being. You are having your immediate response, and if you have query, you answer your query, it responds back to you, right? So that is automation. If you look at that automation, it cuts across spectra. It cuts across spectra. From what I've said, you see that a lot of issues have been involved in what I've said. So, without automation, we cannot get to smart economy. And you cannot get to automation without getting digitalization. And you can't achieve digitalization without digitization. So these are very, very important for us to do. The good news about it is that you don't need to cram your brain about, oh, how will I digitalize? You have specialists to handle all these processes. What is important for us to note, we'll see as we proceed. Now, these are some of the drivers. We have Internet of Things again. With Internet of Things, our products, we can have smart products. I don't know if I'm making sense. With Internet of Things, we can have smart products. You can have smart commercial property, smart residential property, you know, properties with degree of intelligence. These days, with Internet of Things, property can even tell you, I am sick. It has gotten to that. Technology has gotten to that. I have leakage here. Technology has gotten to that. There is a defect in this wall. Technology has gotten to that. Because of that connectivity and sensors in Internet of Things. So, with Internet of Things, we can have smart building. And it allows us to be able to monitor and maintain the building effectively. So, that's Internet of Things. We are on the course towards smart economy. Then you have what we call robotic tech. Robotic tech here, where you use robots to replace all activities of human beings. This is common with space for production, industrial properties. In advanced countries now, you see where robots handles collections of goods, arrangement of final product and things like that, without involvement of human being. It knows when to collect, it knows when to deliver. So then we have artificial intelligence, of course, that predictive and automation. So then we have ProTech. This is what is common in our environment now. ProTech. It's platform for transactions. Platform for you to list or advertise your property for lease, for letting, and probably attract leads. If it will become automated, let me explain that. When you combine ProTech and FinTech. So you can see what we are talking about, digital automation. The digitalization, you have ProTech, you have FinTech. When there is integration of the two, then you have digital automation. Because you can see the property, you can ask for document, you verify document, then you can make payment and you can conclude the transaction across board. That is when you say you have digital automation. So now we have virtual reality. Again, that is required to be integrated into it. So that you want to see what you want to buy, you can have a virtual. That is automation. Okay, I like this. So conduct me for inspection. And it takes you there. Right? Cyberspace. So it's not taking you to Lake Ikoyi. It's this space. Then you see what you want to buy. And with AI, there are categories of AI that can easily dictate if there are defects in building. So all these are to be integrated together where we want to talk about smart economy. Real estate in a smart economy. So I've mentioned about FinTech. FinTech relates to payment and collections. Online, you have your blockchain, you have digital twin. Okay, this is one. This one creates models of your building. It creates models of your real estate products. Now, again, I make a conclusion here. The economy requires what? Digital real estate. We should not be saying that our real estate is, permanent, is solid. You can't convert it. You have to convert it, you digitize it. Convert it to digital space. A good example is this. This building has designed have a digital model of this building that will now be deployed into the cyberspace. And any analysis you want to do about that building, you relate to the model in your cyberspace. So it's doable. It's what we can achieve. And in Nigeria, some are already doing that. Gradually, it's still, we're still very, very far behind. But gradually, we are moving towards that. Okay, these are examples. Where smart technology, these are some of the examples of where we have smart technology. In building. This is of thing. I can't see it properly, but this is really talking about connectivity and integration of all across all spectra. What? Now we have seen that it's doable. Real estate as physical asset can be modeled, converted. Whatever we have as the details of this physical asset, we can have the model of such. It's not as if you can reduce this to online, right? But as this one is standing, you can have the model of what we have here online. And that will, with the feature and details of what we have here, and that will allow us to appraise, to work with it, to analyze, to review, and where there is integration across all the platform, then it will allow you to do analysis and give you results. So now, adapt real estate to smart economy. The first thing we need to do to accept the reality. Don't say it cannot be done. Of course, whether we like it or not, the world is moving for us. And if we want to remain relevant, right, we must move with the pace. What is happening in the industry? I give you one or two examples, even in Nigeria, as backward as we are. Our HOD mentioned about a photographer for events that uses drone, right? That is the effect of the ICT. But it's not only in photographing. We use drone in essence surveying and valuation. We use drone. Our own drone is not the one that captures video or pictures only. It's GIS enabled drone. GIS enabled drone. With drone, you can have a model, digital model of this building. When you fly drone, autonomous flights, it will give you the shape, size, and everything of this building. With drone, you can convert a large expanse of land into a digital space. When you fly autonomous, you have all the land information, everything captured. Even in our process of appraising, with drone, you can capture and verify, reconcile, and review. A case study. There was this job we did in Port Harcourt. It has to do with MPA. And they gave us survey of the parcel of land for the various concessionaires. But only to get there, thank God we went with drone. So, well, we converted, did all our processes. We realized that there are some people. Let's take a concessionaire that is given 6 hectares of land under concessionaire agreement, only to discover that it's occupying about 9 or 10 hectares of land on site. It's drone that allows that reconciliation. Without ability to process those data, we won't be able to discover. Will you even be able to do measurement? Part of the land is water, and you have about 6. They gave you 6 hectares. They are occupying 9 hectares. But drone is able to do all those things. Very, very easy to achieve. So, going into smart economy, where it starts from our smart city, then go to, it starts from our smart building, then go to smart economy, then we can now have what we call smart city. There are other features of our smart city. It's not only about smart economy. So I said the first thing is that we should accept the reality. And that is where we are now. You know that in the olden days, in America, self-made billionaires in America, you know where they made their money from? Wall Street. Wall Street. You know Wall Street? Huh? What do they do there? Trade, shares, and stock. That's where they made their money from. But today, money has moved. Buffett said that. He said it has moved from Wall Street to what? To web. It's now in cyberspace. That's why a lot of billionaires now, they are coming out of either their social what do you call it? Social media influencers, or they have one app or the other that they are packaged together. The joy of it is that while you are sleeping, that thing is what? It's working. If I have such app, I'm here talking, sweating. My app is earning money on the web. That is the joy of it. All right? So, it's important for us to accept that reality and key to it. Otherwise, we will continue to suffer and sell our labor to earn our living. I don't think you grab what I'm talking about. You will continue to suffer, sell your labor to earn your living. Even in agency that my brother mentioned about. Think of an estate firm that has digitalized its agency processes. There's somebody looking for a house somewhere in America, needs a Nigerian in America. That's in diaspora, looking for a house in Ikeja. And he could just search and is able to see this. He can conclude that transaction. Unlike you, that you are still doing analog. You are distributing what? Bulletin, monthly bulletin. You know the limitations with your monthly bulletin. It can't go beyond the table of where you have distributed it to. But where you have digitalized is on the space. Unless you don't have your phone with you, it will enter wherever you enter. If your phone is with you, it will follow you. If you enter toilet, it will follow you. And it will go across the whole world. And you make a lot of money out of that. So it's a reality that we must accept. Then we need to build capacity on the know-how, on how to apply, how to use, so it can benefit us. Very, very important. I'm not saying that you must turn yourself to ICT expert, but you should know about it. Because otherwise, you know one thing about ICT is that it's garbage in, garbage out. So if you don't have fair knowledge, there can be problems. Then invest in the infrastructure. In my office today, we are working seriously on getting some applications that will give us measurement of areas, volume, and give us the model. Just about 2 days ago, they've submitted a report to my table. Why? Because you see, let me just give you 1 or 2 instances. Let's say you want to value an asset for insurance purpose, or even for sale. The difference between a luxury flat and a basic flat is all about space and finishing. I don't know if you grab what I'm talking about. 3-bedroom flats, luxury apartment, and 3-bedroom flat, basic apartment. The difference is in space and in terms of finishing. Space, because to talk about how big the rooms are, the kitchen. In fact, you get to a kitchen of a luxury apartment, it might be as big as the whole flat of a basic flat. So let's now say that you are to appraise, you are to do valuation of such luxury apartments. How will your report be able to differentiate or show the, give the impression about how luxury that flat is in terms of functional areas? And you come to big man's flat and you start taking tape, measuring. And we need that space. So in one of our sessions, I said, then there is a gap to fill. Infrastructural gap. Okay, I will see that later. I said there is a gap to fill. We need hand-held tools that when you stand right in the room like this, even if it's just by the door, just press it with your phone. It's able to beam around the room and give you the square meter of the entire room, or give you the volume of the room or create the model of that room for us. That is about talking about you digitalize. And that will add value to what? To your reports. That makes sense. It will let your client understand why your value is what it is. You don't just say it's a luxury 3-bedroom apartment. What are the features that make this apartment to be a luxury home? What are the sizes? What is the headroom? What is the span of the room? What are the finishing? Brick and mortar is brick and mortar. It's just, the finishing and in terms of space that makes the difference. So, we need to invest. That's what led me to that discussion. We need to invest. You think outside the box, benchmark with international best practice, and invest. Then we need to have the knowledge of applicable laws, both offline and online. Particularly for real estate transaction. You don't say because you are doing online and you negate applicable law. There may be a colossal loss. Then cyber security. Then we equally need to implement the processes as I've explained earlier. Digitize, digitalize, and automate. And on a final note, one thing about these digital processes we are talking about, the digital technology, it has one challenge, one problem, major problem. You know it? It suffers obsolescence rapidly. In fact, before a digital product is out, it might be obsolete immediately. Because they develop new app, new software on daily basis. So before yours is out, if you are still dragging, it can become obsolete immediately. So even if you have invested in the what? In the infrastructure, you need to continue to update and keep pace with the evolving technology. Otherwise, there could be a problem. So now we quickly look at benefits. Operational efficiency. It will reduce your cost of operation. It will eliminate errors in your operation. It will eliminate completely human fatigue. You have results, because it's like a robot. You have programmed it and it's giving you, it's there to serve you. It won't complain. And that is what led to robotic tech in industrial premises, industrial property. Because human being, where you have volume, we complain. We have, our body, we respond to stimuli. A robot, no. Robot will continue to work. So, now, resources optimization. That's another important thing about smart economy. Optimization. You are able to optimize your resources. Then, working economy, I've emphasized this, that your economy will no more be sleeping. You don't have sleeping time at all. Even if you are sleeping in your country, somebody somewhere in another country is relating with your platform, and you are making money. Real-time data collection. So with this one, okay, let me mention this. Do you know that this is my phone? Where is okay? Your cell phone, as you have it, you are not using it. Even when your cell phone is sleeping, when it's in standby mode, it's collecting data. You are not tampering with it, you are not using it. It's calm, cool, sleeping. It's what? Collecting data. I didn't know that before. I went for a training on digital and AI, And the guy said, there is no secret, again, no privacy at all in the world. And I'll give you a test of that for you to just check. No, unless you are not internet enabled. It's collecting data real time. It has a way of recording everything around you, even if you are not using it. If you are using it, forget it. The moment you enter into cyberspace, and maybe you are checking your mail, and they just flash an advert and you click on it. Subsequently, after that, if you start checking your mail, you'll be seeing more of the such adverts. Huh? That's the work of AI. It's responding to your choice. It has collected data about your choice. For clicking on that is an area of interest. So it will start giving you more of such. Now, it happened that in my home, we were to buy some things and we were just discussing. And before I went for that training, and funny enough, the following day, going to office, I started using my phone, and I realized that all information that was coming my way on the Facebook were basically on the issues that we discussed in my home. I didn't check my mail. I didn't search online for this. If I've searched online, I understand that. You know, search engine optimization. The algorithm will record. So I didn't. It's just discussion. Until I went for that training and the guy said, have you ever noticed any time you just discuss about maybe a type of car? That in fact, if I think I'd like that car, I would like to buy it. And the few hours after, or maximum under 24 hours, you start seeing adverts of such cars coming to your mail or coming to your Facebook or your social media handles. So then I said, oh, too late. So that is it. So that is the situation where we have found ourselves. Then we should not just fall prey. We are at risk of that already. But we must equally take advantage of that. That's my emphasis there. Whether you like it or not, we are all at risk of that. But then, should we just be prone to risk? Why don't we take the return therefrom? So please, let's look at how to benefit from that real-time data collection. Improve customer experience. You can imagine when you just make inquiry and your algorithm could analyze the inquiry and response to you, even without any human involvement. You as a customer, prompt response, how will it be to you? Huh? Unlike sending, you have seen it, you send mail. If it's like about anything that is busy, you hardly check mail. 1 hour, 2 hours. Even personally, it affects me. If I send inquiry, every minute I would be going back to see if they have responded to my inquiry. And I think that is what is common about human beings. So given that, that means that requires that we have automation, and without automation, our customer service increase. Then you can enhance the security. Then you can enhance the security and transparency with your online. You know, anything you post online, you can't doctor the date. For example, Abi, you can't doctor the date. My prof will confirm. Don't let me go to that. Maybe you guys. Somebody was to issue a notice. It was delayed, and he has to issue the notice. So he issued the notice and posted it online. You know. And some radicals among us raised objections that he issued that notice behind schedule. He wanted to find a way to work on the date, the online date, when he posted. That led to his resignation as an executive of Nigeria. You can't doctor it. I give you an example in my office. We have one property we have to sell. We got an offer of about ₦1 billion. But the guy that got the offer didn't bring it to my table. Maybe she just realized that, this offer, about a month after, she brought it to my table. Like, 1 billion, we have been seeing 950, 900, 1 billion. This is close to what we were targeting 1.2. What? Told my colleague, first of all, let's salvage this before we come back to office. So I asked him to prepare our report to our principal. It's a corporate organization, institutional investor. Prepare our report and so on and so forth. You know the error he did? He prepared the report. He backdated the report because the letter was belated. Are you following me? But posted the report via email. Can you see the, I don't know if you see what I'm saying. He backdated the report. That is the offline, the hard copy, Abi. But posting it, sending it via email. Email dates will be there. Abi? So I asked him, so you don't even know about this transparency. You should know that even if you have backdated your report, the date you sent it, email will show you. That weekend was a very terrible weekend for him because he was like, a senior member of my office was, what will we do? What will we do? I said, okay, don't worry, I'll handle. In some cases, that's leadership. Huh? When you are to rise up to defend your team, you must always be there. I said, don't worry. When God took charge, you know. So I use that as an example to let you understand what we mean by security and transparency there. It enhances transparency because you hardly have chance to doctor what you have posted. So now let's quickly see challenges. Challenges, one is about cyber security threats. Cyber security threats. I think I need to round up now. Cyber security threats, that is one. I think that's self-explanatory. Data privacy issue. I just explained about about privacy now. Data privacy issue. Infrastructural gap. Just like we see in our infrastructural gap. A lot of hardwares are required to collect all these data real time and convert them to digital data. So we need money. Legal system issues, regulatory uncertainty, then high capital investments. High capital investment. These are some of the challenges. So on this note, I think this is my final slide. I want to thank you for this privilege to share my thoughts with you. But let me just summarize by saying that bringing our real estate into smart economy requires, one, that we digitize, converting offline to online. Two, we digitalize. With what information you have slipping online, you create model, business model, operational models for it to be to enable working with it. Digitalization. Then you do digital automation. Digital automation requires integration across platforms. So that when you start from one hand, you can get to the final satisfactory result. And I gave you an example, if you remember, of ProTech and FinTech. There must be integration of the two if we have smart economy. Just like we must have integration of our smart building, having the model. Yeah, with Internet of Things, you already have information online, but you equally need other model about the your smart building. I give you an example, one of my experiences in a project I managed in Abuja. For a big man, when we were to pick sanitary ware, I went to Abuja and I realized that there is a sanitary ware, a WC system, that when you ease yourself, if you want to ease yourself, you just go there, press your, but when you press button, it will alert the sensor, you sit down. And after you are done, it's the one that will clean up for you. To clean up. Today, because of Internet of Things, if there is fire here, what we know is fire alarm, firefighting, hydrants. With Internet of Things today, because of connectivity, it's so enabled that the building can send, before you even hack at all, it's going to send signal to emergency unit. And they know where the emergency is, and they will come, even without your involvement. That is the value of Internet of Things. That is the value of digitalization. And that will make life easier for us to do. If you go to maintenance, for example, we have what we call reliability analysis in maintenance. You cannot conduct reliability analysis and be effective with it without digitalization. So on this note, I thank you for your audience, and if you have questions.
Thank you very much, sir. That was a powerful one. Yeah, please, we can start preparing our questions, so we can, in the next 15 minutes, we can attend to the questions because it still has a long way to go today. So please, let's quickly prepare our questions. But before then, sir, I would like to personally add, you made mention of infrastructural gap. And from your profile that we are made to understand that you are a fellow of the NAIVS body. Now, as a fellow and a member of SVABRON, I want to ask that what are the things in place for policymakers, professionals and policymakers? What are you people doing to bridge the gap for the infrastructural gap in real estate? Like, what policies are in place?
Thank you. What I can say, summary, number one, I'm not a policymaker. I'm not part of the policymaker team. And being a fellow does not make me to be entitled to one. But at least I am a senior member of the institution. What I can tell you, with NAIVS and even with most institutions, what you can only have is enabling environment. It is not for NAIVS or any professional body to create this infrastructure for you. Now, NAIVS has Protect. Yes, NAIVS has Protect, where they expect members to submit, and you can advertise, you can list your property. NAIVS has that. But beyond NAIVS, as individual firms, it's all about your practice, not about the profession. For example, if you look at the profession is so versatile. I just mentioned earlier that we don't parade ourselves as agents. We do more of appraiser, packaging business case for development, and doing project management than agents. We do agency, but we don't run around chasing agency work, no. Specific. So now, if you want NAIVS to create a platform, what aspect of the profession will they be addressing? Is it my project management? Is it valuation? Is it appraiser? So all I know is that NAIVS has created, and we actually had, it's like a joint venture with an ICT company that NAIVS has for Protect. That we have. But beyond that, as individual, it's now for you to look at how do you want your practice to be, and what are the infrastructural requirements for you to attain that goal. At that point, then we can start, you can start investing. So it's all about individual firm. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Please, a round of applause for sir. We feel you can have your seat, so whenever the questions comes up. All right, please, if you still have more questions, we can start putting them forward. Okay, sir. My second question now is that looking at moving from the traditional way of real estate operations and all, now we are moving to smart real estate and trends. Now, my question is, what are the implications of the growing trends of online real estate platforms on traditional real estate? Because I remember during my intern, my IT days, I was privileged to intern at Lagos State Development and Property Corporation. So what we do basically is for every information and data, we have a file. To every property and flat file. But then, there was a day I was talking with my supervisor that instead of taking flights from one office to another, we have and archive. We can just do all of these things on Excel. So he made a point that if we go all digital, that some people will lose their job. Now I'm asking if traditional real estate practice if they lose their job, what other options do we have for them? And looking at the fact that some of them they are of age already, they cannot easily evolve or move. So what?
Thank you. Number one, moving from traditional to the emerging or adopting emerging technology is not a threat. It's not a threat at all. It cannot replace you. It can't replace your skill. It will only make you more efficient. It only makes you to deliver more, to achieve more. Right? But it's the fear of that technology that can make you to lose your job. If you don't key into that technology, you will not more be relevant. For example, you mentioned spreadsheets. Somebody that cannot use spreadsheets. Of course, you can't even work in my own office. You can't use spreadsheet. You cannot. Unless I see good value in you and I say, okay, come, let's train you first. Right? So, spreadsheet is the least of it. I manage a lot of projects. We use projects, Microsoft projects in my office. We use it to do quite a lot of things. So how will you now say you remain analog? No. If you remain analog, that is the threat to your survivorship, to your job. It's not the technology or moving into the smart economy that will constitute the threat. It's your inability to adapt to that process. Now, if you find yourself, or we have people in that category, they will lose their job and they will lose it. There is no measure anywhere. Because we cannot be going back. We have to go forward. We have to move forward. Right? So there is no provision. The ship, if the ship has left, it has what? Left. I don't know if I'm making sense. So there is no room to create backwardness. This is the trend now. Then we must key to it. So the fear of that trend and that technology is the threat to our job. It's not the technology or that trend that constitutes threat. So it's for us to move. The drone I mentioned to you, I was just reading some materials. I was, no, that time we didn't even have money. And my drone was used by surveyors. You know how much that would be? I'm talking of millions. So I said, no, we need this. That's what I said. One of my cardinal principles is to benchmark with international best practice. So every day, I do that. Every day. I have a job on my table now. The man had given the job to 2-3 different people before he discovered us. A project in Elisha, about 222 hectares. And when I went to Osun State Property and Development Corporation, it's PPP project. They told me that my friend there said, make sure you guide your tent to this. But the man is paying us happily. Because in the first instance, when I went to the site, he got to know. Meeting with the officers, he got to know. I deployed experts and he got to realize that they fly drone. You know the funniest thing? The ministry is supposed to give us, to produce the topographical survey for us. Right? They were like, he has not given us money. This going back and forth. I just called the engineer. You have your drone. He said, please give me topo. Within 2 weeks, the topo was out with every other thing. So if you don't key into that trend, there's no solution. So we don't have, the only thing we have for those traditional is the mandatory continuous professional development.
Thank you very much, sir. Okay, sir, I think I would want to ask this final one before we move to the award presentation because of your time. Now, while you were talking, you made mention of PPP just now. Now, what strategies can be employed to increase access to affordable housing in Nigeria through innovative financing models because you made mention of finance during the course of your lecture. So what strategies can be employed to increase access to affordable housing in Nigeria through innovative financing models and public-private partnership? That is, for those that don't understand the full meaning of PPP, when you mentioned it, it is just public-private partnership. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I'm happy with one thing from what he said. He didn't say what measures to achieve low-cost housing. What he said is what? Affordable housing. That is realistic. It's possible. One of it is to do PPP. That's the measure. And that's what you call all, these finance initiatives. Because when you do PPP, chances are that the cost of land to your development be minimal. Because there is a public agency or public entity. That's why you say it's a PPP. So the cost is minimal. That will reduce your delivery cost. Now, you now go into measures of affordability. Measures of affordability. What are these measures? It starts from your design. The project concept itself. If you want to do affordable housing, where is the location? I was in, for about 3 months, December to February, I was in Abuja, facilitating on project management with this team of Federal Mortgage Bank. Federal Mortgage Bank, what they do is basically housing for the commoners. That's what they fund. And it's usually a question about affordability. And when we say land elements, their concern is, they can't, it has to be at the city. You can't hit your cake and have it back. Have you forgotten about budget constraints? Budget constraints. I live in Michael Otedola. I want to live in Ikeja GRA now. Why am I in Michael Otedola? It's because of my budget. The place I can afford. So if you are talking about affordability in terms of housing delivery, the choice of land, the choice of your delivery model in terms of PPP, design, what you are designing, to fit your cost. My first house, that was in 2006. I can tell you right from that time, I eliminated completely all aspects of sunk cost in my building. If you see concrete at all, it was structurally required. I don't know if that makes sense. You don't need unnecessary embellishment, unnecessary cost in your building in the name of concrete if it's not structurally required. Why? Why do you need that? Right? So you think about that. You do, on that design, you do value engineering. That's a concept in project management. You do value engineering to ensure that your design concept fits into the target cost as realistic as possible. Then another measure is you now think of affordability. How soon? How well can they be paying? Not cash and carry. If it's cash and carry, it's not. There is no Nigerian civil service that can afford it, unless you are stealing. Even if it is 2-bedroom flat, but you can introduce. That's this issue of rent to home, for example. It's a measure of affordability. Increasing land property density, building density against your in various locations. It's a measure of affordability. Because a parcel of land, Itato, that is meant for 2-family house units, now is allowed to do up to 6 family units. Cost per unit of the land will do what? Will come down. It's a measure of affordability. Then, on a final note, you can now equally deliver as a carcass. We did that in Ajelogo in Lagos. Well, I happen to be the one that prepared the business case for it. All other estates around the place failed. What do I mean by failure? They built them, they were markets. They were not sold. And our partner, the developer, invited us. So I look at it, measure the environment, collect my data, and I said, instead of doing 3-bedroom flats, we do 2-bedroom. So that you make it more affordable for people, right? We are doing PPP, that is using our cost. We are not looking for money to buy land. Then we deliver carcass. Then we have market entry, we have price segments, price scheme, market entry, market growth, market maturity. So we were able to rake money with our market entry, and we allow instrumental payment. That transformed the entire place completely. It's a story online. You can check it. Greenish Gardens. It's a story online. You can check it. It transformed the entire place. In fact, when people felt that we won't be able to sell, we sold everything completely before the date of commissioning. And when Sanwo-Olu came, all the centers were like, Mr. Bonner, are you saying they are gone? Where were you when we were selling at 2022? We sold at 16 million market entry. After about 6 months, we increased it to 25 million. Today, a unit of similar flat, today, you can't get it for 70 million. You cannot. When I did my follow-up appraisal, we were to do mass housing altogether. Follow-up appraisals, because of cost, if you look at economic volatility in 2022, we now proposed mass housing as part, sales and service as part. Market entry for our sales and service happened to be 25 million naira. We still allow you to pay instrumental affordability. Today, the last one I sold for 75 million. I'm talking of 2022. The one we want to sell now, 110 million. And people are crazy, running for it. We have transformed that area. We introduced affordability measures. So people came. Now the market became so large. So those are the measures. Your location, your delivery model in terms of PPP, your design, you must design to cost. You must equally ensure that you do value analysis on your design such that there's no any area of sunk cost. Then you should equally consider convenience of payments. They might not have the money en bulk, by payment they start paying. You know, and when you have money desire, you won't know how the money is coming. So, thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Okay, we have a question, sir.
Good afternoon. Okay, my question is, we as evolving educators and valuers, what are the skills that you think or you feel we need to focus on, and develop so as to remain relevant in the smart economy?
Is there any other question so we can attend to?
Ms. Adeniro Damila. My question is that what are the potential risks that we can face as estate surveyors and valuers as we move into the cyberspace, like using ICT?
Skill. Let me categorize the skill into, I would say 3, even though you have answered 1. You are going to smart economy. What skill do you need? ICT, digital knowledge, exposure to the digital world. That is 1. And you need your core skill for the core area of the profession. What you don't have, you can give. What you cannot do manually, you can't use computer to do it. Am I communicating? Huh? In one of my presentations in NAIVS, I discussed about DCF, and some of the participants came. So when they got to their office, they had the assignment to do it about 7 months after. And they ran a lot of spreadsheets, but they were in the bush. Why? Because that core knowledge, they didn't grab it. So you can't sacrifice your core knowledge as essence of and value for soft skills. Very, very important you have those core knowledge. You can choose to specialize. If you know your area of passion, you can say, yeah, I want to create niche for myself in this area. Then build that capacity. excel, exceed, then you'll be able to edge competition. Then the last one is soft skill, particularly in the area of marketing and human relations. Because if you don't have that, I think I said it in I came here some years back, and I said it to somebody, asked the person, I said, are you an introvert or you are an extrovert? You must not. So that's part of soft skill. The ability to do your SWOT analysis, know where your weaknesses are, and work on your weaknesses. Huh? So you must be able to market. There are people that they don't have the skill, but because they have marketing skill, they can sell water to refinery. You understand what that means? You know how abundance refinery water is. They can sell water. So we need that knowledge. But going to the cyberspace, the ICT knowledge is very, very key. In the barest minimum, all these available softwares and our interactions with internet, very, very important. Then about exposure. What exposure do we have? Cyber security threats, loss of data, and violation of privacy, data privacy. If you are not careful, you might end up in litigation if you toil around with other people's data. Then you might lose your data too. For example, in my own office, talking about smart economy, what we are trying to do in terms of storage is that we have hardware in terms of physical server. Then we have cloud. So wherever you are, you can work. But at the same time, that must be duplicated in our physical server. So that we still have our files. So that if there is problem with your cloud, I can fall back to my server. So that threat is there. And because of the fact that, you see, real estate transaction is usually confidential. So we need to manage that, not to violate privacy law. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. I would like to give the HOD the mic if he has.
Please, I just want us with a standing ovation and just clap. Make it locomotive, you know. That was beautiful. Thank you so much. You know, thank you. Can sit down. You know, I told you at the beginning, if you remember what I said these are the movers and shakers of Lagos. So, did he prove me right or not? Look at all the projects. Look at all the achievements. Look at all the knowledge that's been imparted on you. That is why I said you guys should come. Ordinarily, if you should deliver this kind of lecture in Lagos, in Abuja, in a conference, do you know how much you would have paid for a registration fee? And this is what you are getting absolutely free of charge. And then we have to beg you to come. I just want to say thank you, sir. You know, I was in and out. While I was here, I have handled a lot of administrative work while I was going and coming. The 100 level students were supposed to have a lecture by 12. Professor Atta is the lecturer. I have to go outside and talk to him. Sir, please. He has agreed. 100 level student. Let me see your hand up. So I've agreed with him that the lecture will be shifted to 1:30. So by 1:30 you can go, because he came all the way. So I was begging him to reschedule for another time. He said he came all the way. He's on sabbatical leave. He came because of them. So I now appeal that I should please make it 1:30. He said that's fine, so that he will not go back empty. And he's supposed to. But he came here because of them. If not, he would have rescheduled. But he still wants to take that. Okay, by 1:30. So that's why. So I've been handling a lot of things, but my mind has been here because I didn't want to miss anything. Because I know the caliber of person that is there. But you may not know, but I know. I've learned a lot of things from him today. I also believe that you too, you have learned a lot of things. So, once again, thank you, sir. Thank you for coming. And I know that when we call on you again, you will come. Thank you so much.
Please, I would like to call the president to join for the award presentation.
Thank you very much, sir, for coming. Estate Management Student Association presents this award of distinguished alumnus to ESB Isiaka Olalekan Abodere in recognition of outstanding accomplishments, contributions, and your continuing interest to support this association. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Once again, sir. We really appreciate your coming.
Some of us that will be going, like me, that I have to go on my way. And our year one, when Prof talked to me, he said, you know, if you have to talk to your students, the association need money, you must come with something. And I said, okay, sir, you know the economy. I said, you know the economy. He said, but you still have to come with something. I said, okay, we will try to see what we can do, even though the economy is tense. But we need to encourage ourselves. As EMSA, it's important for us to keep this type of program on and ensure that we impact on our members. My token contribution, on a personal note, I will send 100,000 naira. And on behalf of Olalekan Abodere Consulting, I will ensure the company pays 100,000 naira. I still manage Risk Academy. The academy is not making money yet. We are still just spending money. But since this is our domain, they have no choice. But because they don't have money, the academy will be contributing 50,000 naira. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, sir. We are so grateful for your contribution, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
So please, while that is going on, please let's still have our seat as we get our refreshment. We are almost done. We are almost done. The next speaker will be coming up in. Okay, now it is virtual. So for part 1 students, you can go for your class. We'll be connecting virtually for the next speaker now. Okay, while leader is away, okay, our speaker said something about tapping into smart economy. I just want to ask a kind of tricky question. Now, considering this whole space now, yeah, you made mention of space the other time. Considering this whole space, if you ask that what was the longest, the longest area of this room, what's the longest area of this room? Where is the length? If I'm asking you to give me the longest area of this room, where will be your focus? Hmm? Eh? Who wants to answer now? Now, this is the whole space, right? So, where is the longest area of the room?
From the back.
Is it correct? Is it correct? He said this side is the longest side. Do we agree with him? No, now. No. Okay, where is the longest side? You said no. Let's hear from you now. We can always have other opinion. I don't want to believe we all think alike. There should be someone that can think out of the box. Yeah, outside the box.
I guess the longest should be from the edge of this place.
Do we agree with him? From that head to that should be the longest. Which one is yes? Again, the other person said that head, the back. He said yes. Now from that point, that's diagonal. You said yes again. Which one are we going with? The diagonal. Any other opinion? You said the same thing the other time. So now, do we agree with him that that's the longest side? Okay, why I asked this question was, okay, my first day at LSDPC, that was the question I was asked, actually. I got to the office and my supervisor just asked me, okay, you're an estate surveyor and valuer, you do more of measurements and calculations. So what's the longest area of this office? The first thing I said too, I just looked at it that, okay, it should be this, the linear way. He said, no, I'm wrong. Then I looked at it again. I had to tweak my head. Okay, let's go diagonal. And he said, I'm still wrong. Then what is the answer? Well, I don't know. So I hope we'll find out the next time we're having a symposium. Do you have anything to say? Okay, okay, what will you pay if I say the answer? It's not something really much. So, from what I understood that day, he said the longest space of the room is you are picking your point up, then down to the other diagonally. But it is, yeah, he said, oh, it was close, but then he just said it on the floor from that point to that point. But the longest area actually is from top to bottom of the other place. So you have it diagonally, but it is not on the floor. Clap for me now. I think you just learned something. All right, while we have our refreshment, I think we'll just wait for okay, while we wait for the president, our technical team, we'll just have a 5 minutes break just to relax, have our refreshment for the next speaker. The next speaker will just be talking to us for about 20 minutes. Nothing more than that. So part one students, thank you very much for coming. Please let's appreciate them as they leave now. Please let's clap for them. They have tried. Okay, information reaching me now is that our second speaker for today that will be connecting or that is supposed to connect to us virtually still has a few things going on with him. Information is slide. So we can meet with them for a copy of whatever he sent. But before then, Mr. Imalafe, our official DJ for today, please, you can give us, we can have, yeah, a short interlude And when the president is around, we'll move straight to certificate presentation. Please, let's just hold on for the president. We are almost done, or technically done, but we have some certificates to give out. So please, let's enjoy the music.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, first off, let me thank you all for your time. Thank you all for gracing this event with your time. I'm so grateful. Though disappointed so many of us are not here, but I'm still grateful to those of us that are here. Um, Due to some unforeseen circumstances, we won't be having the second talk. The second speaker is not both online and offline. So, have you been served the item 7? How many did you get? Okay, for waiting, you get one more. You get one more. Yeah. Thank you very much for coming. I'm so grateful. Um, for as many that want to get a picture with the president. Okay, before that, we had a quiz and debate competition. We had a quiz and debate competition on Tuesday. We'll be awarding the certificates to the participants that are present now. I'll hand over the mic to James.
Okay, please. The first person I would like to call on is Adeniji Rashida. Please, let's jam our hands together for her. It's not easy to represent your Mr. President, sir. So for your participation at the EMSA quiz competition 2025. Okay, is Falola Daniel in the house? Falola Daniel. Please, a round of applause for Falola Daniel. So this is a certificate of participation to Falola Daniel. So thank you for making EMSA with 25 a memorable one. Then the next person I'll call on is Ajani Adeshewa. Ajani Adeshewa. Please, a round of applause for her as she comes forward. Now, participated in a debate competition. We hope you would represent EMSA even after this one. You can go interfaculty, even OAU at large. Inter-university, yes. Then, Omi DG Okpeyemi. Please, did I get the name right? Omi DG Okpeyemi. Okay. Thank you for participating. Okay, the next person I would call on is Olawore Oluwasogo Solomon. There are times that I don't get surprised when I see certain names come up to Solomon. Even from my biblical experience of Solomon, he is full of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Abi. So thank you for participating. Adebajo Oluwaseun John. Adebajo Oluwaseun John is in the house. No. Okay. The final person is Oyeleye Samuel Olamilekan. Please, a round of applause for him for participating at the EMSA Week Quiz Competition 2025. All right, once again, I would like to say a big appreciation to everyone that has made EMSA Week 2025 success. Yes, part 5 is done with OAU. Part 5 is done, and we are hoping we are leaving EMSA in good hands. Ìjọba EMSA kò ní ti orí yín bàjẹ́ fún ìtẹ̀síwájú EMSA. So I would like to hand over the mic to the president for vote of thanks and any other information.
Of the greatest EMSA, articulate EMSA. Yeah, thank you very much. Like I've said earlier, I am so grateful for your time sacrifice, for finding and creating time to be here. I say thank you so much. Please make sure those that were not here know what they missed. Make sure those that were not here know what they missed. Yeah. For day 1, I say thank you. For day 2, thank you. And finally, for today, I'm saying thank you. I'm so grateful. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I hope you are already getting the second round of. That was why I said already getting, not have you gotten. So it's being on. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful.
Okay, we are bringing the event to a close now. And in the spirit of Salah, I would like to call a Muslim brethren to give us the closing prayer in the spirit of Salah. And please, I'm available in Ife. If you have ram in your house, please do well to invite me. I know how to eat and break bones. Please, if you have ram and cow, even if it is camel, please do well to invite me. Rashida, I know you are a Muslim now, a devoted one at that. What's she saying? Okay, so please, any volunteer in the house to give us the closing prayer. In the spirit of Salah now, are you not happy about Salah? Are you not alarming? Eh? My ID. All right. Okay.
So, 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 for the completion and the success of this event, I would like to say Alhamdulillah. And we we said well, we thank God for that. Also, I'd like to for that. Bismillah. Right. That's what you can say. Bismillah. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. Malik Yawmiddin. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين